Hey, we're going on our annual road trip. We're leaving the animals in the care of some relatives that are reliable. And we're going down on Old Route 66, what's left of it, through Missouri and Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. And I also want to stop at a couple of Bonnie and Clyde sites. I have an interest in history, and that's one of the things. I saw the movie from 1967 when I was about in 8th grade. And of course, like any kid, you think it's real, and then you find out it's not real, and it was very different. And the people, of course, looked nothing like Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty. And for the nature part of it, we're heading out to Black Mesa State Park in the Oklahoma Panhandle, and then Palo Duro Canyon also in the Texas Panhandle. And we hope to see a lot of wildlife out there and just enjoy the stillness of the area, just to get away where there's big sky and there's quiet and expansive land. The one thing that always bothers me about going down south is when we travel, we see all these box turtles smashed on the road, or box turtles sitting on the road, or injured box turtles. And the box turtles are so docile and gentle. They're such docile, gentle creatures. And it seems like people should be able to see them, but they run over them, or they just ignore them. And the box turtle will crawl out. The highways are they're getting wider and wider all the time, more and more traffic. The box turtle will crawl out onto the highway, and then a car goes by, and if it doesn't crush the poor thing, the box turtle clams up in its shell and just sits there because he's scared. And that's what we see. So we're going to try take as many off the road as possible and move them in the direction they're going, only if the other side of the road has habitat. But sometimes you come across them where it's impossible to do that, and then we have to move them further out into the countryside. And so we'll be doing that too, I'm sure. Okay. I'll be putting on a few videos about the animals out there, the wild animals, probably about the box turtles, and about the Bonnie and Clyde sites that we're going to stop at. Well, Ku was found on about to step onto a 6-lane divided highway that was pretty much a freeway, and he was right on the line, ready to step out into the first lane where all the semis were going through. So we pulled over fast, backed up, and I ran back along the line so the semis wouldn't hit me. I hope they wouldn't hit me, but you never know, and grabbed them. And there was no way to move them across the road to the other side because it was 6 lanes, industrial area, and it also, there was no way to get across it because it was like a freeway. So, look at him, he says, "What happened? Yeah, you almost got mushed. You were like a few feet from getting mushed." And so was I, actually. So we're going west. He came from the west. He was moving east. So we're going west into some of the state forests areas there. And we're going to release him there. And if he tries to get back to his area, at least he won't be crossing huge highways. It'll be country roads. Take a look at you. You are not long for this world. Going off to lay eggs? Well, the best we can do for you is move you away from that highway. And then next to the highway, running parallel, is an interstate. So if he kept going, he would cross over and eventually come to the interstate. So I think moving you a little west out of that area. I'm just shocked how this area is built up down here in Missouri. It's what used to be little 2-lane roads now look like interstate highways. They've made them into interstates, some of them, and all along the highways where it just used to be countryside, it's just a sprawl of crap. Just a sprawl of dollar stores and all kinds of junk. Be happy. You'll live another day, I hope. Here. There's a river here, and these turtles don't use rivers, but there you go. I'm letting him go so he can walk kind of in the direction he was going. Okay, go ahead. Go on, you're free. Here. Put your way in there. There you go. And don't go by the parking lots and cars and the highways and people, because they're all no good. How you doing? You hear the water? Well, that's the best I can do is letting them go here. This is in the park, and the roads are pretty narrow, so hopefully he won't come to a main highway. Okay, bye little guy. I hope you have a long life. Taken about a half dozen of these ornate box turtles off the road. Here's some babies. We've been finding babies. This is about the third baby on the highway, and a lot of them get smashed, but we drove in way off the main highway and we're gonna let them go here. I'd like to bring one of them home, but I know that's not right because then they can't reproduce. So we're going to put them in this pasture here. Don't want to step in any poison ivy here. But I'm going to stick them here. There's mud and cow droppings, and there he goes. Stay off the main highways, guy. There you go. He's got the big field back there. Hopefully he'll stay off the highway. Now here he comes back. There he goes. They'll eat grubs that get into the cow droppings too. So hopefully he's far away. But they move, and they seem to be migrating to move to new spots. Okay, little guy. Bye-bye. Well, I lost count, but probably 10 or 11 turtles off the road. Here's a casualty of people's inattentive and uncaring driving. This guy had just gotten hit before we got to him, and he dislocated his eye, a severe head injury, his shell really bashed in the front here. And I took them off. We put hydrogen peroxide. We boiled that through the break in the shell and in the front, and tried not to get it into his eye. But I think he did a Hank Williams in the back seat, and I think he's dead because I touched him on the back leg before, and his leg had a little reaction on both legs. I thought, well, he's not got a severe spinal cord injury, but I think the head injury was just too much for him. And here we are in a motel with him, and he's not showing any life, so I think he passed on in between the last time I stopped. But this is it. I mean, you can see these turtles on the road. You know, they go and they're crossing, and then a car comes whizzing by and they pull into their shells and clam up real tight, and then they're afraid, and then they just sit there until somebody else mushes them, or some good-hearted person pulls over and takes them off the road and moves them to the other side. If the other side is good turtle territory, you know, if it's all an industrial area, you're probably better just taking them off to some side road far away from the highway, way out in the countryside, and letting them go there. But this guy just was injured too severely. I was hoping, I thought maybe because turtles are tough, you know, maybe if he had been crushed more on the side here, I don't know. So it was a sad ending. I didn't have much hope. I didn't have much hope for him, but he didn't make it. There's always a slim chance, though, and I couldn't just leave him sitting on the road like this.